All Stars 5 Queens, bring it to the runway. Hello! Hope you guys are all okay and all good. Welcome to another video. My name is George. For those of you who don't know, feel free to subscribe down below if you're not already. And this is a video that's kind of become a weird sort of semi-staple where I just randomly decide I'm going to talk about the queens from the new season of RuPaul's Drag Race. I didn't do it with season 12, but I did do it with All Stars 3 and with Drag Race UK. So I wanted to do it, so let's get into it. Before we start, let it be known, these are all just my opinions on these queens. I actually really love this cast. I think it's such a fantastic cast, and I'm really looking forward to watching it. There's a lot of people talking about like Drag Race fatigue, and I don't know what that is. One, we're during a lockdown, and like Drag Race content, great, living for it. Two, I've not watched Secret Celebrity Drag Race yet, so I also have that to look forward to when I run out of All Stars 5. And it's kind of like a nice weekly thing for me. Like every Saturday, or if Jordan's off work, I'll watch it the next time he's at work. I get to sit down and watch Drag Race, and I love it. I love it a lot. It's a great TV show. I love drag, you guys. I just really love it. So, let's get into the queens. First of all, can we talk about Ru in this promo? She looks beautiful. She looks so beautiful. And it's nice to see her back in an All-Stars promo, because she wasn't in the All-Stars 4 promo, which I thought was an odd choice. But she's in the All-Stars 5 one, and she looks beautiful. So, well done. I'm doing this in alphabetical order. I've not watched Meet the Queens yet, because I am sort of saving it for myself. Like, I'm kind of, the same with Secret Celebrity Drag Race, I'm kind of saving it for when I need it. So like, for when I'm feeling like my ultimate sadness, or when I feel like I really need a little pick-me-up, or I've just run out of things to watch, which is not possible, but just in case I'm kind of in a drag racy mood, I'll watch Meet the Queens. So probably after the finale of Drag Race season 12, I'll watch Meet the Queens. So by the time this goes up, I will have probably watched it. Such is life. Recording ahead of time is sometimes hard. So, we're going in alphabetical order, which means we start with Alexis Mateo. One thing that I'm really loving about new All-Stars seasons is that we are bringing back queens who have already done All-Stars. I don't think we're quite at a point where we can bring back someone who's been on All-Stars 2, but bringing back the queens that did like earlier seasons in All-Stars 1, I feel like is a wise choice, because Alexis Mateo does not get the love that she deserves. Even on season 3, she did not get the love that she deserved. I really loved her on season 3. I thought she was great. I think she got dealt a really bad hand. I think she got critiqued really harshly, constantly, and I really hope she does well. Like I've already said, I think this is a really good cast, and I think because of that, this is what happens in All Stars. I find All Stars to be like the most stressful watching experience ever, because no doubt I already love all of the queens that are on it. So like when I watched All Stars 3, that was so stressful, because like I've already said, I loved the cast of All Stars 3. All Stars 4, again, such a stressful experience. All Stars 5, probably gonna be really stressful because I love all these queens. Alexis Mateo is a great queen. She's beautiful. She gave us Miss Vanjie. We love her. We stan. Her entrance look is also beautiful. Like, and the face she gives, we love. Next up we have Miss Blair St. Clair. I do declare, Miss Blair St. Clair, according to my notes, came 9th on season 10, which just seems really weird to me. I think she's got a lot to give, and I'm intrigued to see what she does differently, because I remember when she was on season 10, I was excited to see her because she described herself as like a Broadway baby, and I was excited to have someone like that on there. And then she didn't do as well as I think I wanted her to. Season 10 was a strong cast, but like she didn't do as well as I wanted her to, and it was kind of a tough break for her, but I'm glad she's back in an All-Star season. I think this is another good thing. I think bringing back queens who weren't like in the top also makes sense, because it gives them that opportunity to like show how they've grown, which is something I'm glad, because obviously if they hadn't have done that, we wouldn't have had Trixie. Next up we have Miss Derrick Barry, who according to her entrance doesn't want to be known for Britney, so did Britney for her entrance. I think Derrick is there to stir up a little bit of drama. That's kind of what she did on season 8. It was a lot of like pot stirring and trying to start fights here and there and being quite catty. I was always rooting for her a little bit when she was on season 8, because she seemed to be struggling, and I don't know, we love an underdog, and I wanted her to do better than she did. Like, I remember when I was watching it for the first time, I think it's because I love Britney Spears an awful lot, and I always want Britney Spears to do well in life. So I think that translated to someone who looks like Britney Spears and wanting them to do well. But I really wanted her to do well, and I wanted her to succeed. I think there's never a queen that I like hate and I don't want them to do well. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I really wanted her to do well, so it was disappointing when she didn't. But such is life. I'll be intrigued to see what she does differently if she's trying to get out of her Britney box. So if she's out of her Britney box, I'm excited to see what it is. I've not seen a lot of her since the end of her season, which I think is, like, I follow particular queens on Instagram and, like, people come up here and there, but, like, on, like, the explore page and whatever, but, like, I've not seen huge amounts of her since her season, so I don't know what she's been up to, so I'd like to see what she's done to get out of her Britney box, if anything. Next up we have India Ferrah. This entrance look, mother. I love this entrance look. I think she looks so beautiful. I think she's such a wild card for this season. I don't think that, and this is no disrespect, I don't think anyone would have predicted her for an All-Stars season. And I think that's what makes this so interesting, is that she is someone who's sort of out of the box. And again, bringing people back from the earlier seasons into All-Stars, I think is such a good idea, because it means that, one, they get introduced to the fans a bit more, and two, it's a bit of like a wild card. You never know what they're going to do, because there's been like 9 seasons of Drag Race since India was on Drag Race. It's like, well, 9 seasons of normal Drag Race, and then like a million All-Stars seasons. So like, she's had a lot of time to grow. So I'm intrigued to see what she's going to do and what she's going to be like. She looks stunning. I'm excited to see what she's going to do. And hopefully she won't be as nervous as she was on season 3. That's all I'm hoping. This entrance look though, she looks beautiful. Next up we have the wonderful Jujubee, who I love. I have been a huge fan of Jujubee since season 2. I loved her so much on that season. I think she deserved better. I think there should have been challenges that she won. All Stars, I think she did really well as well. I'm glad they're bringing her back. I think this could be Juju's time. If not, she'll end up in the top again and lose. But like, I really hope this is Juju's time and that she wins some challenges. She so deserves it. She's an incredible queen. She's completely beautiful. And I love her. I think she's so great. And I'm so glad they brought her onto this season. I think Jujubee is such a strong choice. And she's such a fan favourite to people who've been watching it for like years upon years. Like, to people that have like gone back and watched everything as well, which I think most fans have anyway. And you should, if you've not. I do recommend it, because I'm of the mind that you need to see where it's come from to see where it's got to. I think it's, I don't know, it feels like an education. I feel like you should do it. But like, I loved her in season 2 and I love her so much. So I really hope she does well this season. I'll tell you my top 3 at the end, which I think is kind of, I don't know, maybe it's not everyone's top 3, but I think I have ideas. I think I know what the top 3 is going to be. Next up we have Mariah Balenciaga from season 3 of RuPaul's Drag Race. I loved Mariah on her season. I think she went home at a weird time. Like, she'd been doing quite well, I think, and she sort of went home because of one lip sync, and it's a real shame. I think she was really great, and also she was a great commentator for that season as well. Shangela was also the big commentator on season 3, but she had some really good sound bites. I saw the fishnets and they were ripped. She was also present for one of the most iconic moments in RuPaul's Drag Race history, the sickening Shangela speech. Again, like with India, I'm intrigued to see what she's going to do this season. She's beautiful, for one, but I'm intrigued to see what she's going to do this season and how much she has grown since her original season. That's what makes it so exciting. Oh, this is why All Stars is stressful. Next up from season 10, we have Mayhem Miller. I was so excited when they said Mayhem Miller was going to be on this season. I was very excited when Mayhem Miller was on season 10 because I'd heard of Mayhem Miller. Who hasn't heard of Mayhem Miller? And I was so excited for it to be on season 10. I was so happy when she won the first challenge, spoilers. And then, like she said in her VT, like, she sort of nosedived a little bit. I really hope she does well this season because I think she deserves to. I think she's so talented. Love this entrance look. I think she's beautiful and stunning and hilarious, and I want her to do really well. Like I already said with Blair St, season 10 was such a strong season. Like, the seasons seem to have gotten stronger. Like, they're becoming more and more like All-Stars seasons. Like, season 12 has been an All-Stars season, I think. And I think it makes it harder. It means that the competition is already harder because it's not even like in the earlier seasons, and this is no shade, but like in the earlier seasons, you can kind of tell who's not good. I don't know, there's like that little, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm being mean, but like when I watch them, you can kind of have a guess about who's not gonna get very far, whereas now it feels like it's hard to make that, it's hard to know because they're all so good. Next up we have Miz Cracker from season 10. Is that 3 season 10 girls in this season? 3 season 10 and 3 season 3. 2 All-Stars 1. I loved Miz Cracker on her season. Again, much like Jujubee, I think there were challenges that she probably should have won that she didn't. And like she said herself, she got in her own head about everything. And it was really heartbreaking to watch because I think she's so good. She's so talented, but she kind of got in her own way. And I think she's going to do very, very well this season. It's one of those things where like you already know that Ru really likes her. So I'm hoping she does really well this season. I think she's one to watch. Next up we have Ongina from season 1. This is such a moment. Ongina has been rumoured for every single All-Stars season. I think I read somewhere that she's been like on like the sub list for like every All-Stars season. Like she's almost made it but not quite. And I think it's so good that she's finally at one. She did so well on season 1. It was a very controversial moment when she went home. I don't think she should have gone home in that episode at all, and I think a lot of people agree with that, which is why they think she should have come back from an all-star season. I think it's her time, and I hope she does well. I hope she shows off the incredibleness that she is. When we saw her on the season 10 finale, she looked so stunning, and this entrance look is just absolute perfection. I really hope she does well. Her time is now. Her time is now. And last but by no means least, we have Shea Coulee from season 9, who arguably should have won season 9. Season 9 was sort of the turning point when track records started to matter a little bit less, because it became about the lip sync smackdown for the crown. Like Shea said in her VT, when those rose petals came down, I freaked the fuck out. I was sat by myself and I screamed because it was so unexpected. It was the first time we'd had that format for the finale, and the reveals were off the fucking chart. If it had been a regular season and it had finished like season 7 and season 8 or season 6, like the clear winner was Shea. Because of the change to that format at the end, it meant that it became about the performance and it became about who performed better. And the fact of the matter is, Sasha performed incredibly. Like, that is like the reveal that was heard around the world. I was hoping that Shea would be on season 4 of All Stars because I'm a huge fan of Shea Coulee. I think she's incredible. Like I said, I was fully down for her winning season 9. Like, she killed that season. I mean, arguably Sasha should have won some other things along the way and should have had more challenge wins, but Shea bossed that entire season, and to have her on an All Stars season, I think she is the one to watch. I can see her winning this because she is an incredible queen, and I think it is an absolute privilege as a viewer that we get to watch her in a Drag Race season again, because she is drag excellence, and that's that on that. I think she could win it, and I hope she does. I think before we've even started, I'm kind of team Shea, and I think that's the correct answer. My top 3 for the season: Shea, Miz Cracker, and Jujubee. Purely based off of how they've been in their previous seasons, how much I think they've grown, and how much I like them. I think they're my favourites for the season, and I really hope they make top 3. Top 4, I'd quite like to see Ongina there, or Blair, but I'm open to whoever. But my top 3 for sure is Jujubee, Miz Cracker, and Shea Coulee. I'm excited for this season. I think it's going to be a fantastic season of All Stars. It's a fantastic set of queens. I love the range. I love that we've got people from older seasons as well as newer seasons. I love that we've got people who didn't end up in the top 4. I think this is an incredible set of queens. I love the rule change. I've not even talked about the rule change. I think the rule change is great. Bringing back an old queen to lip sync, fantastic. Great way to use your resources. Great way to see some like different queens. I am excited. And also, the format had gotten a bit, not tired, but I think because we'd seen it for 3 seasons, I think the format became slightly less dramatic, because most of the time it was clear who was going to go home. Bendela sending herself home and Naomi sending Manila home aside, you mostly knew who was going to go home because people were playing the game in a way that meant they weren't going to get cancelled by the fans, because some Drag Race fans are awful. Quick reminder, it's a TV show. So I think a rule change is a good way to shake things up and a good way to have something different happening on the show and to keep people on their toes, because it's a new format. It means that no one's really going to know how it's going to shake down. And that's exciting. That's why the rule change for the finale worked for season 9. But I think that's why they change it up a little bit, so that it keeps you guessing, so you don't know what's going to happen. Because like seasons 4, 5 and 6, it was the reunion episode and the crowning at the same time. Because the reunion episodes, I just feel like people don't watch them very often. So that's how that kind of worked. And then for season 7 and 8, they had like a lip sync song where they lip synced like a song that had been written for them, which also sort of worked and was kind of a fun thing to watch because you got to watch people performing, and that's always fun. But also, maybe it's just me, it felt like who was going to win was kind of a foregone conclusion. Whereas season 9, suddenly it throws everything wide open and you have no idea who's going to win, and it kind of makes it exciting. For example, in season 10, for me, the top 2 was Aquaria and Asia. And obviously, because it didn't quite go the way Asia planned, it was kind of anyone's game. Like, anyone could have won it at that point. But I think we all knew that Aquaria was going to win it because they wanted the Drag Race royal family of Sharon Needles and Aquaria. Season 11, once again, if it was track record, Brooklyn Heights would have won. But because of the performance and because of what she did in those lip syncs, Evie Oddly won. Season 12, I don't know what's going to happen. I've got no idea. There are a couple of queens that I was hoping was going to make it onto All Stars 5. I was hoping Asia would be there because I loved her in season 10. And I think, once again, I think it would be an absolute honour and a privilege to watch her in another season of Drag Race because she is drag excellence and she is wonderful. I think it was a shame to not see anyone from season 11 on All Stars 5, but maybe for All Stars 6 I'd like to see Nina West on an All Stars season. I think it's inevitable that we're going to see Silky Nutmeg Ganache on an All Stars season, which I don't want but will probably happen. I would quite like to see Miss Vanjie on an All Stars season. I feel like that's going to happen. Maybe not yet. I think like All Stars 7 maybe. I think she'll be on one eventually, just not right now. And also I think at some point they need to give Pandora Box another shot at All Stars. I think All Stars 1 was not good for her, and I like Pandora Box. I think she's got a lot to offer, and I would like to see her on All Stars season. But I'm going to stop talking now because I could just go on forever. So that is the end of this video. If you made it this far, feel free to leave the high heel emoji in the comments below. And also, let me know who you're excited to see on All Stars 5 and who you wish had been on All Stars 5. / your predictions for future All-Stars. Let's talk about it. If you guys enjoyed that, feel free to leave a thumb on it and subscribe down below if you want to see more. I love each and every one of your faces, and I'll speak to you as soon as I possibly can. Bye!